What's up? We're back again. It's beautiful. And as I told you, we're doing the Q&A. So yesterday, I sent out an email to the author folks saying, hey, it's been an awesome year, it's been an awesome 2 years, been an awesome bunch of years. Want to help out? What are your biggest problems? Not looking, there's literally nothing to sell here. And so what I'm going to start doing is going live. In fact, I'm going live right before I'm going to do another interview, which is super cool. So I have a short window of time to answer this question, but let me bring it up here on the computer. But it's from Diane Moat. And she says, with all the changing social media platforms, how do I know where to get the best ROI? I've heard people have success with Twitter, Pinterest, etc., but I can't spend money on every platform. That's like the question of the century. Seriously, it's amazing. So just in case you're watching this, I'm Johnny Andrews, founder of Author Platform Rocket. Work with a little over 16,000 authors and about 20,000 some odd entrepreneurs, helping to build their business. And this is kind of the stuff that we do with all this fun stuff is just help people with advertising, help authors and entrepreneurs with marketing. And this live video series is going to be one of them. So if you'd like to get some info, just for the time being, absolutely hanging out, just taking care of questions. So you can message the page, you can write in, all those different kinds of things. But like I was just saying, today's a real short one because I'm about to dash off and do another video interview. So really quick to recap, Diane Moat, author who wrote in after I hit the list and said, hey, what are your biggest problems? What's going on? And as you might imagine, there were quite a few questions. But I wanted to start with this one because I think it is very indicative. I call it marketing confusion because, I mean, let's face it, there's like a ton of crap out there for folks to do. There's a ton of things. It's like it just continuously gets more ridiculous, it seems, almost by the minute. I totally get it. I mean, if I was having to write books every day, I'd probably lose my stinking mind. So I get this. But her question is, where, out of all the social media platforms, where am I going to put my money? What's going to give me the ROI? Like, what can I expect? That kind of thing. And that's good. So here's how when I had this question many moons ago, this is how I looked at it. Which platform has the most of your readers on it, in your opinion? Now, let's start with that question. The reality is I can just answer this. It's Facebook. It really is. Facebook is the single greatest advertising platform that the world has ever seen. But now there's a caveat to this. Advertising on any platform is a little difficult and it takes time. You're going to spend more money than you earn initially. And you have to be okay with that. Because marketing advertising, it's not magic. It's not some wizardry and this is the biggest misconception I would say about what marketing and advertising actually is that I see pretty much minutely. The whole team, like everybody over here, this is like the one thing that we're constantly combating is we're not a bunch of wizards. It's testing. It takes time. It takes failure before you get to that success. And if you don't put in the time, you don't spend the money, you're never going to get the outcome. In fact, I had another author who wrote in saying like, oh my gosh, nothing is, I'm not getting anywhere. My books aren't selling. I'm like, well, what are you doing? And his answer was nothing. I'm like, well, then why are you shocked that you're not getting anywhere? It's kind of the same thing with this is a lot of authors, what they'll do is they'll throw 5, 10, 15, 20, maybe even $100 into an ad or a short series of tests and just be like, screw it, I'm done. I can't handle it anymore. And that's pretty much universal across a bunch of stuff because advertising is hard and it takes time and it takes testing and that kind of stuff. But if you're going to do this, Pinterest can be organic. Twitter is the most useless social media platform on the planet. This is even I think this is via pretty much a decade of data. It proves that Twitter is what is called a self-contained ecosystem. People inside of Facebook tend to click links and go off-site to do stuff. People in Twitter, they just kind of like read the headlines and retweet, and they think that that's going to be somehow making an impact, and it just doesn't. So I would say just completely avoid Twitter with anything that costs money. I have ads going in Twitter. The results have been, I have a rep. I was able to spend enough, I guess, to get a rep in Twitter. And his advice to me was don't advertise on Twitter. I was like, oh, okay. He's like, advertising the content network, which, it's okay. But I don't think that's going to be a place where you're going to want to spend your ad dollars. You Facebook is incredible, and it can be made more incredible with something like, for example, what I'm doing here. This is called an engagement strategy. And what I do is I get on and I give as much information as I possibly can with a call to action of, like, say, message the page, or here's a free thing that you can opt in for. But what's happening is, I'm getting in front of people, and you see my face, you hear my voice, you get the personality. You're like, oh wow, I either love this guy or I hate him. It's like, oh my God, he's at a bar. What the heck? That's so weird. And you either love it or you hate it, and I'm okay with both. Because as an author or as an entrepreneur, you really want to polarize your audience. You want to have that, you want to be able to get that love-hate kind of thing going on, because the more people that you get in front of, you're going to whittle down to the people that like you, that listen to your message, and they get excited about it. And you can use, that's your marketing right there. Like, you could do that on Facebook. You really can't do that effectively anyplace else. And so I would recommend, if you're going to spend money inside of Facebook. And it doesn't have to be expensive. You do $5-10 a day or less. And what's happening now is, and this is what we're doing in a lot of the ecosystems, like I Love Vampire Novels and Romance Devoured and stuff like that, is we're taking the concept of marketing and social interaction. So like you'll see that I have a lot of the authors going live on a lot of the pages. And the reason for that is it's boosting engagement, but for the authors, it's getting them in front of people. And so some of these things, especially in the more lively ecosystems, are very much just going. They're doing really well, and they're reaching, some of them have been over 100,000 views at this point, which is really cool. So that's what I would say is learn this platform, learn one platform. And if you're going to do it, what I would recommend is coming up with like a let's call it a social engagementorial. There we go. I like that. The engaging advertorial kind of thing, where you get on and multiple times you engage your audience, and then you use that engagement to drive an action, which in my opinion, it's called Author Platform Rocket for a freaking reason. Build your platform. That's what I would recommend, is build your platform and then use your platform to drive your sales. And this can take a while. That's why I'm like, this is what I would call a slow cooker technique. Very, very, very powerful when you do it right. And it's not hard to do right. In fact, you don't need to get many things right about it. In fact, you can see this, like pretty soon, all this is going to be gone. It's going to be an actual, I'll probably have my whiteboard behind me or something more professional or whatever it is. But for now, the goal is deliver good content, engage the fans, and, just try to, just honestly, just try to help people get the questions out and stuff like that. So I would recommend you do the same thing. Stick with Facebook. If data is pretty accurate on this, that your readers, there's probably 80 to 90% of them are already on that platform. And it's just a matter of you learning how to get in front of them correctly. All right. So there you have it. That is, that's the first question. This is the second day of the Q&A. So if you have more questions, you can email agency@authorplatformrocket.com, or you can message the page, because I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, I'm taking questions, whatever your marketing or business questions is. I'm not so much of a life coach, but I can if that's what you need. So I'm going to be working through the emails that I've received just from the newsletter, the author newsletter subscribers. But if some stuff comes into the, what do you call that? The direct message kind of thing, or shows up on some of these video posts, super cool. I'll handle those things too. All right, so until next time, and you never know, maybe I'll even do another one of these today, because I'm kind of liking them. They're kind of super fun, and I've had some great feedback from them. So cool. I'm Johnny Andrews. This is Author Platform Rocket. I am answering your questions. Where are my fingers? There we go. Look at that. I'm not even sure where the camera's actually pointing, because I have it like off under another window. I'm just, it's super weird. I'm like reading and pretending to look at myself. So there you have it. Until the next time, which might be tomorrow, maybe it'll even be today. Have fun. Be good to each other. Let's finish this off.